Hey, what's up everybody, Life Without Pants here with another Path of Exile video, and in today's video we're going to talk about a previous league, the Metamorph League. It's 3.9, it's a core part of Path of Exile now when you get to maps, and this is the first in a series of videos about different league mechanics. Not really looking forward to the Harvest one, but we're going to start off with something nice and easy like Metamorph. So, for those of you that don't know, Metamorph launched alongside the Conquerors of the Atlas expansion. It's basically like a builder, a monster kind of league. There is a stash tab associated with it right here. So this is a Metamorph one. This is where you keep all your rewards. The rewards are catalysts. These are the Metamorph specific rewards. And there are these organs as well, which you find from killing Metamorphs when the power meter is full. We'll see that later on. And once you've got all of these organs, once you've got a set of 5, you can go to Tane's laboratory and you can put them all together inside the Metamorph tank. So how do we get Metamorph in our maps? Well, there's I think it's around 8% chance for it to occur naturally, for Metamorph samples just to be around in your map. Obviously the easiest way is just to throw a scarab into the map device. We've got some polished and rusted ones here. Obviously they do different things. So the rusted is just forces a Metamorph encounter. The polished is the Metamorph bosses drop an additional itemized sample. We'll talk about those later. So you can just chuck one of these in. It's pretty easy. These are very, very cheap in almost every league. It's half a chaos. It's not very much at all. They're pretty decent value for money. This is the Arch Nemesis mod league, so Sentinel, and that means that Metamorphs are a bit rippy now because there's Arch Nemesis mods on all of them. It makes them a lot more difficult, but if you've got a good bosser, then this is a fantastic way to make some money early league. Other than just using a scarab, there's some stuff on the Atlas passive tree. So obviously there's these nodes down here where you can block stuff off. So I've blocked off Legion, Sacred Grove, Expedition, Abysses, etc. And you leave the Ethics Review one off. So that means that you +2 chance to contain other content. It equates to around 33-ish%, about 1 in 3 maps have a Metamorph encounter if you block everything else off and just leave this one on. And then obviously there's some other nodes on the Atlas passive tree as well. Now Metamorph, unlike many other things, has actually 4 wheels on the Atlas passive tree. Intrinsic Darkness is one of the best ways to get it, just a +4 straight up chance to contain a Metamorph encounter. Then there's there's just a standard Metamorph wheel over here, and there's a few +1 chance to contain a Metamorph encounter on that. This is the Rogue Metamorph wheel here, so Escaped Experiment, you have 20% chance to contain a Rogue Metamorph, and then a few more. And the Rogue Metamorph is, if Metamorph is you building a Metamorph to kill it out of samples you collect, a Rogue Metamorph is just a very tanky, angry monster that turns up in your map sometimes and can drop Metamorph rewards and itemized samples if you're very lucky. And then the last one here is basically Fine Specimens. It just increases the difficulty of the encounter, but also, potentially you get a lot more stuff out of it. So we've covered how to get it. Now let's talk. Let's jump into a map real quick, and we can see what it looks like when you actually see the Metamorph on the map, on the minimap. So this is what it looks like on the minimap when you get a Metamorph pack or a monster. It's always part of a pack unless it's a unique monster, but it's what it looks like on the minimap when you get a Metamorph monster that holds a sample. So if we go and kill it, we'll see a little icon spring off it. There'll be a little animation. So it's this one here, and you see Filthy Moor's lung. That's come off it. And if we Tane will show up. The first couple of times you do this, you have to talk to him. Oh, sorry, Tane. I always forget that. But this is the construction chamber. So I've killed a couple here, and oh, there we go. Filth Moor's heart. I think it was Filthmore's lung, rather. And this is the power meter. So this is how you acquire all your samples in a map. Okay, so let's build a Metamorph. We've cleared out our map. You've got a little Spawn Metamorph button down here. This summons Tane and his vat to you. You get 5 different types of organs. So you've got brains, eyes, lungs, hearts, and livers. And you can just put these over in here. And this is how you create your metamorph. You can also control click if you want. I find it much easier. Once you have got all 5 items, then the create button becomes usable, and this is the power meter. And the power meter, once it's at full, which you can, I think, always get by just using the ones on the left, these are the most powerful organs, then that means that you get an itemized organ when you kill the metamorph. And for us, that's going to be the blacksmith's brain. You will always get the unique one out of everything here. So if we just take these all out, they have, normal, magic, rare, and unique qualities, just like all other items in Path of Exile. So the blacksmith brain, this will fill up the unique one will fill up the power meter the most. And you may see these little icons on some of them. They have rewards associated with them. So this venomous spawns liver. This is going to drop us some catalysts. Catalysts can be quite expensive in the current league. Sometimes they're more expensive, sometimes they're less. I think fertile catalysts are now at 8 chaos each, which is just insanely good. Prismatic around the same. So if you want to just blindfoldedly, or not blindfoldedly, but if you just want a dumb, easy way to make sure you get an itemized organ, then you just click everything on the left, and then once, for me, this is basically what I do, then I'll maybe look to see if there's something that drops an additional reward here, like this catalyst, and swap it in. And if the power meter still is moving around and still going to drop an itemized organ, then I'll keep it there. But if I put this in, then I don't get the organ for that, so I'm not going to do that. Maybe I'll go for the veiled jewelry, maybe get some Elrion's jewelry, probably not. So let's just kill this metamorph now and see what we get. And like I said, these can be quite rippy because they've got a lot of arch nemesis mods on them. Pretty difficult sometimes. If you've got a mainly mapping build, this can be quite hard. But here we got the blacksmith's brain, this itemized organ here. When we use this later on in Tane's laboratory, if you want to, it's going to drop additional fossils. So there's additional rewards associated with it. And then we got some prismatic catalysts and some intrinsic catalysts, and the prismatic catalyst 8 chaos each at the moment, quite expensive. So it can be very, very profitable to do Metamorph. I have frequently gotten exalts out of these as well. It's a really, really good early bossing mechanic to make some money as well whilst you're mapping. So we've covered how to get it, where to get it, and let's go and have a look at the rewards and what the last phase of Metamorph, which is Tane's laboratory, looks like. And just before we go into Tane's laboratory, worth noting that there is a vendor recipe for Metamorph where you can, if you have, say I've got lots of brains, unlikely, but say I had lots of brains and I, have no hearts. I've got lots of brains, no heart. That sounds familiar. And I want to swap stuff around. I can take 3 of any type of metamorph sample. In fact, I can take anything at all. And then you can 3-to-1 these, and you get a new metamorph sample. And the only rule for this is that this sample will not be one of the 3 that you supply. So if you can figure out ways to get exactly what you want. So if I put in 3 brains, then it will just not be a brain. So it could be a liver, a heart, a lung, an eye. But if I put in a brain, a liver, and a lung, then it can only be a heart or an eye when it comes out. So let's get into Tane's laboratory. Okay, so here we are in Tane's laboratory. We're going to construct a metamorph here. And it's the same process as you would find in a map. It's just that you're supplying the itemized samples. Let's go and take a look at the ones I've collected so far. I have here, so we've got 1 of each. They also have different rewards. So rare jewelry, rare armor. If you're solo self fan, then these can be really, really useful. For me in Trade League, then they're not as useful. I actually have a overlay search here, so we can just hit that and it just only looks for currency, divination card essences, maps, fossils, I think that's Shaper Jewelry, or Shaper or Elder Jewelry, Quality Gems, Scarabs, Splinters, and Catalysts. So, these rare jewelry and rare armor ones don't cut it for us. I think everything else here does. So currency items, yeah, lots of currency. So you can get a lot of currency out of these things as well. Let's take, double currency and breach splinters. Oh, actually, that one's got harbinger currency. That's even better. So let's take that one. And we'll just chuck them in here. And we don't have enough juice to make this all the way to the top. I think around 80, around item level 80, around item level 81. That's when you really get some, like a lot of extra rewards out of this. But we're just going to kill this one. This is, just a beginner-friendly video, so we don't need to be doing that much damage. We're just going to kill this Metamorph real quick. And you'll see there's I've got a, relatively harsh loot filter, but you'll see there's quite a currency explosion. Oh, we've got an exalt as well, and we've got a challenge for this as well. So this is the sort of end game of Metamorph. I think it can be very rewarding, especially early league when everybody's looking for catalysts for their rings and amulets and belts. We're going to talk about catalysts next because we need to know why we're doing this in the first place, other than all these exalted orbs we're dropping. Okay, so let's take a look at the catalyst rewards that we're getting here. Now, catalysts, they can be applied to jewelry only, so that's rings, that's belts, and that's amulets. Obviously, only to non-corrupted items as well. There are a few different catalysts. So the intrinsic catalysts are attributes. So if you have a belt here, we've got 31 strength on our belt, and I hope it's not too expensive. Yeah, that's fine. So we've got 31 strength implicit there, and if we just do this a few times, you can see the quality goes up, and also the amount of strength we get from the implicit goes up as well. If you're going to craft an item, then absolutely you have to catalyst it before you craft it, because this will do 1% quality to a rare item or to a unique item. It will do 2% quality to a magic or blue item, and it will do 5% quality to a normal item. So if you have a vermilion ring, for example, and you've got the implicit to 7% increased maximum life, then if you do it, you only need 4 catalysts instead of 20 when you are starting your craft. And I think the fertile catalyst, they're 4 chaos. If you're doing something like a prismatic catalyst, which is for resistances, then that's going to be, this is 8 chaos times 20, whereas you could be 8 chaos times 4. It's so much cheaper. So for the rest of them, there's the prismatic catalyst, which is for resistances. There's the noxious catalyst, which is fizz and chaos modifiers. So if I wanted my chaos resistance up there, there's the speed modifiers from the accelerating catalyst. I can't remember which one that one is. It is the unstable catalyst. They sell for quite a lot at the moment. You can also get the fertile catalyst, which is a life and mana modifiers on rings. Tempering catalysts are for defenses. Abrasive is for attack modifiers. Turbulent is for elemental damage, so really good if you have lots of increased elemental damage with attacks on your belt. And imbued are generally the cheapest. They're the caster modifiers on belts, amulets, and rings. Now, there's also a vendor recipe for catalysts too, so you can just chuck in 3 to 1, and it will be a random catalyst here as well. So I just put 10 in. Let's do it in bunches of 3, and we can sell to Tane. So this could be anything. Who knows what we get? We get a fertile catalyst, so that's actually pretty good. It is possible to make money this way, but it is, like I said, it is random. So it can be really, like, intrinsic catalysts are quite good because omni builds are very strong. And we got the noxious catalyst. So that's what your end goal of Metamorph is for. The catalyst rewards are very rewarding. Obviously, you can drop a lot of money from the currency rewards. And there's lots and lots of other just random rewards that you get from Metamorph as well. So, you know, fossils, maps, essences, breed splinters. There's a lot of things you can get in there. I don't think there's any heist or expedition stuff in there, but there's still a lot of rewards. So anyway, that's it for this video. That's it for this Metamorph look, and I hope you like this kind of video. If you do, let me know in the comments. Let me know what kind of build you're playing as well. I reply to all the comments at the moment, so super interested to find out what you're up to. But that's it from me. I hope you are kind to everyone you meet. I love you all very much, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.